So it's time for some exhaust on the S10. So I'm trying to make some stock manifolds work, and they don't. So what I've got in the middle here, these are off of just like a truck, Silverado, Tahoe, whatever. These outer two are off of Trailblazer SS. So the Trailblazer SS, this is the driver's side. You can see it kind of sits flatter to the head. This one bulges out, and then it's got a dip right there. So I was hoping the Trailblazer SS one would work. And then this one's harder to see because I still got the heat shield on, but it's a little bit flatter in this area. And this is the passenger side, and then the exit angle on the flange is a little bit different. Passenger side, not too much difference. Driver's side's the big deal. You can see this way how it's a little flatter. This is where the steering column's going to run, so stock truck definitely doesn't work. So I've got it mocked up in the truck. Driver's side. It looks like on the driver's side, it'll clear the steering column. I kind of held it up in there, and I'm going to have to get like an Astrovan one. But the flange on the bottom goes right into the frame rail. But the rest of it hugs the block pretty good and clears everything. So I'm thinking if I cut the end off, angle it over, re-weld it, that'll work. Passenger side, similar issue. I got plenty of clearance everywhere, except for, again, it's dumping right. Except for, again, it's dumping right into the frame rail. Again, if I can cut that flange off, angle it up about 15 degrees, then it'd be fine. It'll go right through the opening back there. So that's kind of my plan with these guys, is to see if I can cut and weld them. You know, this regular truck ones you can cut and weld. Not sure about the Trailblazer ones. Should be able to. We'll find out. I've got my collectors tacked to my manifolds. Basically what I did was I cut out about 2 inches, and then I cut it down just so it's the flange. On the back side, it's kind of flush. I got a gap over here. I'll fill that in with some plate or something. But it basically works. Got my exhaust ran down to here. I got sort of some clearance all the way around. So that kind of works. That's the passenger side. You can see I barely got room clearing everything. And over on the driver's side, got something similar going on. It's harder to see over here, there's more junk, but tacked it through the wheel well here again. And up underneath here. Pipe slides on and off. It is like a millimeter from the transmission though, but it looks like it'll work. You can see through the tube there, it's sort of lined up. Again, I had to do some pie cutting and finagling, but yeah, it looks like it'll kind of work. Here's the manifolds out of the car. This one's not too terrible, passenger side, a little bit of a gap to fill. And this, like I said, I cut good 2-3 inches out of this one. First I plasma cut it, and then I cut the flange off and tried to fit it up nice, but yeah. This is the driver's side. This one's got a lot bigger gap. This one I cut a big chunk out of, and I guess I didn't need to go. When I was holding it up there and marked it, it looked like I needed more angle, but I didn't need quite as much angle as I thought. So that was about right there. So that much angle would have been a little better, but yeah, whatever. I'll probably end up cutting a piece of this and splicing it in here, kind of like a big pie cut. But it's not terribly lined up. Like, flow won't be too restricted from what I can tell, if at all. So there's the answer. If Trailblazer headers can be used, they can, but not in their stock form. So I do not recommend this. Spend $60 and get some cheap headers. These cost me about $40 plus my time, which is going to be way more than $20 worth of time. Here we go with the finished product, as we'll call it. So these actually welded up really good. excluding my lack of welding ability. But as far as the metal, I mean, it welded real nice. So I just goober smooched it all up over here. I'm not spending a lot of time on these because basically I've kind of wasted my time and money on these. So if I'm going to spend the time to make this look real nice, I'm just going to make long tubes or something. So kind of splice some pieces in, and it's not terrible, but I didn't spend a lot of time on this. So I burned it all in as hot as I could and as quick as I could, and you can see it's still smoking. And the reason I did that was to heat up all this cast as much as possible. You can shove this in some sand and let it cool slower, but frankly, if these crack, I'm just going to make some real headers, so it should be good enough for what I'm doing right now. But that answers the question on can you make Trailblazer headers work, and yes you can. It's just a matter of they're not going to be the best, and you're going to kind of waste your time and money. So there we go. Let these cool. I'm going to wire brush them and then maybe throw some paint on these parts, and that's it.